Hi everyone, it's Marla. Happy 11/11. This is going to be a sacred union twin flame reading for the 11/11 portal. If you resonate with my work, please like this video. Please leave a comment that helps me to get noticed. I have just created a new meditation that is an activation for divine union, and it's a channeled meditation that is based on a vision that I had, and it's meant to bring you out of the energy of separation, okay? Because separation keeps us stuck in ego. It keeps our defenses up. It keeps our heart blocked, and it helps to move us into the energy of the heart, which aligns us with the fifth dimensional frequencies. It aligns with love, and when we're aligned with our hearts, we're not stuck in that pain of separation. So, like I said, this is based on a vision that I had, and it really helped me. It's helped the clients that I've used it with, and so I am offering it. It's on video and Vimeo, and I will post the link in the comments if you're interested, and there's more about it on my website as well. So if you feel like that might help you, if you're needing help dealing with triggers, or you're needing help staying balanced, then please check it out. With repeated use, this meditation will help bring your energies into alignment and into a state of surrender, so that you can be at peace and just let the divine timing flow. Okay, so let's get to the cards. I think I'm going to use this deck today. This is the Lover's Path Oracle by Chris Walder. This is going to be my primary deck, but I'm going to be pulling from a lot of different decks. What is the overall energy for twin flame unions at this 11/11 portal? What is the overall energy for twin flame unions? Okay, that's too many. Okay, the overall energy is Nine of Cups. This is the energy that's coming down from our higher selves, and this energy is wanting us to begin to activate this in our daily life. So for me, this card represents manifestation. Especially in this deck, she's holding up these cups, and it's like she's creating them. She's bringing them through almost on a wish. And this card is known as wishes fulfilled. Okay, so I feel like what our higher self is wanting us to know about unions right now is that our creative powers are growing, and they're going to continue to grow. We can have everything that we're desiring. We have to be patient, and we have to align our energy with what it is that we're wanting. The creative energy right now especially is so strong. Sorry, there's a glare on the cards. I'm trying to find like a way to light this space without having too much glare on the cards. See if that isn't better. Our creative energy is so strong these days, and it's going to get stronger. 2020 is going to be a great year in a lot of ways. Many of you will be going forward on your mission and the things that you've been trying to create. But with this comes a lot of responsibility as well, because we need to be responsible for what it is we're creating. That means watching the things that we say, and it means making sure we're not operating from shadow or from ego. So let's see what's positive in twin flame unions at this time. Balance. So we are doing very well with balancing the masculine and feminine energy these days. And there's very little separation. And everyone's at a different place in their journey. You know, so if you just met your twin flame 6 weeks ago, you're not going to be in the same place as someone that met their twin 6 years ago, or someone that met their twin 16 years ago. So take that into consideration. But for many people, there's this balance taking place. The balance of the masculine and feminine. When you achieve that within, then you begin to let go of the feeling of separation. But of course, it's the balance of the masculine and feminine that brings us our creative abilities. They go hand in hand. Let's see what comes up as what challenges twin flame unions. Nine of Arrows. Okay, so we are still dealing with some shadow elements. This card, Nine of Arrows, kind of known as the nightmare card, because there's always someone like waking up in the middle of the night from a sleep and they're feeling stress and anxiety. So there is some shadow work going on with Mercury retrograde. I just posted a video as well about kind of what's going on with the energies and how when we increase our light, we increase our consciousness, it does take us to the next level of clearing our shadow, because suddenly we're ready to tackle something, or we can see something that we couldn't see before. But also too, when you start creating the things that you want, very often there's a risk involved with that. Meaning you've got to take a leap of faith to go after what it is that you want. And that can bring up feelings of anxiety as well. So it's like our higher self is telling us that it's important to find this inner balance and not let the fears get the best of us right now. Let's see what the romance angels have to say. Oh, so the romance angels for the overall energy say very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Well, one of the things that is kind of overlooked on that card is it says, clearly decide what you want. Are you clearly decided? Sometimes, or some of you may not be, because you might still be fighting some anxious feelings. But something is happening very soon. As I said, we're in kind of this, we're gearing up right now in this phase. It's a little bit of a rest before there's a real big push towards the things that we've been trying to manifest. What's positive in twin flame unions? reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Okay. When we get into this state of balance, it does open the doorway for reconnection with our twin flame. They can often feel the shift in us. And remember, this is for unions in general. So your twin flame is feeling more balanced too. That might make them more keen to reconnect with you or communicate with you in some way. What challenges twin flame unions? Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So for some of you, what you're struggling with is finding the patience, waiting. And I know that it can be very challenging. It was just 11:11 on the clock. When we can find ourselves in this place of balance, we have a much easier time surrendering. But for some, there's likely to be some triggers coming up around your twin. Whether it's real or not, whether it's true, there may be some doubts creeping in for some of you. And so very much like trusting in the process right now is where the universe wants us to be, but sometimes that ego gets in the way. But wow, pretty awesome cards for the start of this reading. Let's talk about the Divine Feminine. What is the Divine Feminine working on right now? Conflict. Well, this is interesting because this came up last week when I did the pick a card twin flame reading. It came up as one of the messages, as one of the people was dealing with conflict. Like I said in that reading, for a lot of you, this is going to be feelings of inner conflict. You may not trust where it is you're going. You may be having a hard time letting go. You know, she's struggling to keep hold of this sailboat. But maybe she needs to trust the winds and trust where she's going to end up. For some of you too, this could be actual conflict happening in your life. Thanksgiving is coming up. There could be some kind of conflict with your family. I'm not sure that I feel it so much with the twin because the twin flame energy looks really good. Okay, so to clarify, they've said status quo. So that kind of confirms that I was right, that for most of you this is going to mean an inner conflict, because on the one hand you want to change the status quo. You want to bring in something new, but that also at the same time brings up fears and challenges because you have to step out of your comfort zone. What is the Divine Feminine healing? What is the Divine Feminine healing? The healing light. So I feel like this card is representative of the light energy that's coming in at this portal. and you're just absorbing more light. And taking on more light can bring up physical healing, emotional healing, mental healing. Very often it comes with a purification process. And I suppose a purification process represents all of those things. But you may be feeling very tired right now, spending a lot of time sleeping, maybe like not too hungry as well. I know I'm finding that with this shift, the way I'm eating, what I'm eating, how much I'm eating, all of that's changing as we go deeper into the crystallization process. But ultimately, remember that the light heals us. What is it that the Divine Feminine needs to surrender right now? Surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in your relationship. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. Okay, for some of you that have that external conflict in your life, this is telling you that you need to set healthy boundaries. For those of you that that message is not resonating with, then this card is about setting boundaries to take the time for you. That healing light coming in needs you to take time for you. It needs you to be in sacred space, to be quiet, to be recharging your batteries. We're coming into the holiday season as well. And so really take this time out during Mercury retrograde, especially Mercury's retrograde till the 20th of November, to focus on you. And if that means setting boundaries, then you have to set those boundaries. So how is this bringing change to the Divine Feminine? Too many cards again. Teacher. So all of these things are teaching you something. I feel like for a lot of you, like you're getting ready to become teachers. With this 1111 portal, there's going to be a lot of people waking up. And come 2020 and beyond, we really need people out there helping those coming after us to shift into higher consciousness, to help guide them. And this woman, you know, she's connecting with this magical energy. She's connecting with her mystical side. Everything that we go through as twin flames is opening us up to be more in touch with that magical element. That's who we truly are. And having the power to create. That's what I get from this card. That's what she's learning. She's learning how to be a master in her own life. And I feel like that's where the Divine Feminine is, or is working towards for some of you. As I said, everyone's at a different part of their journey. What is going on with the divine masculine? What is the divine masculine working on right now? Or what is coming up for that side of us? Okay, so for the divine masculine, the energy that they're focused on right now is fear. And I think that goes very well with the cards that we have for the union energy. Has I talked about, you know, we're needing to face fears right now because we're needing to go take that next step towards our dream. That step is never an easy step. I mean, think of the Fool in the tarot. He's got to take the leap off the top of that mountain. But he's doing it. He has faith. So all of us are taking this leap of faith. Now, this is the divine masculine side, but no matter what you resonate has, listen to both messages because you're going to receive something from both sides. Remember, we're coming into this state of balance. There's very little separation. So what one experiences, the other one is experiencing as well. I know when I do these readings and I talk about the divine masculine energy, I always find elements of that happening in my own life. So the whole reading should be resonating more and more as we find balance. Let's just see what kinds of fears are coming up, especially. Okay, fragmented energy. So for many of them, they're feeling overwhelmed by life right now. They just, there's a lot going on and I feel like they can't pull things together. Here we have this wishes fulfilled card, but I think for the divine masculine, in their life, it feels like anything but their wishes are going to be fulfilled. I feel like they're struggling to have trust and faith right now. They don't have all the pieces of the puzzle yet either, is what I'm getting. There's still more information coming to them. Like they don't have the whole piece to the twin flame puzzle. And that might relate to maybe the whole of the connection or the whole of how the two of you are going to come together, how the two of you are going to work together. Maybe they don't know fully what the mission is. I feel like they're really being pushed towards their divine partner right now. And it's like, well, there's still fear attached to it in a lot of ways. Whether that's fear of taking a leap of faith and making the changes in their life, or whether it's the fear of confronting their own inner demons and fully opening up their heart to you. What is the divine masculine healing? Courage. They are developing their courage. They want to overcome their fears. As I said, like, I feel many of them are being pushed in this direction towards their divine partner. But look at on this card, here's this knight. He has to walk into this dark forest. For some divine masculine, this could be representing a dark night of the soul and having to have the courage to go through that. Could just be that taking a leap of faith. For all divine masculine, like, you're having to find the courage right now to make the changes in your life to get to that 9 of Cups. Remember, our divine masculine side, whether we're male or female, wants to keep us protected and safe. And so sometimes when we're trying to step out and do something new, take some kind of risk, the divine masculine part of us wants to step in and be like, oh no, I don't think you should do that. You know, that's going to open you up towards the possibility of getting hurt, or it's going to, you're going to have to be vulnerable if you do that and try something new. You're going to have to take a step into the unknown, and that might not be safe for us. So all of us are needing to work with our divine masculine energy to find that inner courage to do whatever we're being called to do. So what the divine masculine needs to surrender is the desire to control people. Being over-controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. So I feel like this card, well, it kind of pertains in general to the divine masculine, wanting to control things. And that goes with what I just said about the divine masculine wanting to be protective, not wanting to show vulnerability. So in doing that, there's a desire to control situations and to control people and to just like keep themselves in control. So divine masculine is working on surrendering control. That's where the balance comes in. So bringing in more divine feminine energy to balance out the divine masculine. And when we let go of control, we're more apt to take that step into the unknown regardless of our fears. What's transforming in the divine masculine's life? Oh my gosh, I can't believe these cards. Are these cards like confirming everything I'm saying or what? Taking steps. So we see the chain here of what is happening. The divine masculine is preparing to take their next step, whatever that may be. And I think, you know, we've got some really good cards here, but remember, we have to wait for divine timing. We have to let things unfold. So we need to always keep our expectations in check. You know, we need to know our twin flame is coming. Know that everything is always working out to our advantage no matter what happens. trust that the universe is guiding us every step of the way, regardless of what it looks like. And then just always surrendering to the outcome, to however it's going to be. But clearly the divine masculine energy is working on their next step. Let's just see, what is the next step for the divine masculine? Okay, interesting. Family. So this is something I've talked about before. This is not going to apply to everybody, but it's going to apply to twin flames that are still married and have children. Because this has been something that the divine masculine has been trying to find balance with for a long time. For many of them, the reason why they haven't come forward to their twin is because they have a previous commitment to someone else and a family, and they're trying to figure out how to do both those things. How can they take care of their family and still take action here, take steps here towards getting what they want? And this card is letting us know that they are wanting the same thing that you're wanting. For some of you too, if this doesn't relate to children, for some there's heavy influence from parents, for example. You know, maybe their parents want them to be with someone particular, or a certain kind of person, or they feel like they want to please their parents and do everything that their parents want, and their parents might be very particular. For some as well, this is going to be healing their own inner child. So there's a lot of different ways that we can apply this card. You have to find what resonates. Remember, this is a general reading, and not everything in the reading is going to resonate with everyone. So just take what you feel in your heart is a message meant for you. So family is a big thing, but we know that the universe is going to guide those twin flames out of those situations in divine timing. But I think this goes with this a lot, because, you know, as we come more into balance with our twins, there's this energetic balance that takes place where you're just very much tuned in to each other's energy, to each other's thoughts, to your inner knowing and your connection to your higher self. So for some, and this is for some of you watching this, because I know not everyone, whether you're divine feminine or masculine, has cleared this stuff yet. And that brings up anxiety. That brings up fears like loss of control. How am I going to do this? So we can kind of see now that when the angels gave us this card, divine timing is at work in your love life, one of the things that they meant is that when it's time to take steps, no matter what it is, it's going to be divinely guided, and you'll know when that time is. Okay, So I just asked, what else? What other things is divine masculine taking steps towards? Deserving. Okay, so knowing what they deserve, knowing that they deserve every single wish and desire that they have to come true, knowing that they deserve love, that they deserve peace, and they deserve sorry, I just lost my train of thought. That happens sometimes when the energy is really high like it is. So I'm just going to leave it at they're finding the things that they deserve, you know? They're also heading towards some kind of milestone. So I feel like at the winter solstice, the divine masculine is going to be reaching a milestone in some way. I feel like there'll be some shift taking place at the 12/21 winter solstice gateway, and that's when we'll see that the divine masculine comes more into this courage and actually taking steps. Remember, Mercury retrograde is right now, so even though you can start taking steps, you may be in the process of preparing to take steps. Okay, so what's coming up in the future? What is coming ahead for twin flames? Okay, so the first card was awakening. Well, remember what I said, that the divine masculine doesn't have all the pieces to the puzzle yet. Okay, for some, they're still in their awakening process, or they're still getting information about the whole connection. They're still getting information about how to move forward, how to trust. So I feel like this awakening card is saying that the divine masculine especially is going to be receiving more clarity about everything. I feel this for twin flames in general, this is about awakening your heart. So this 1111, a gateway, is creating the energy for everyone to move more into their heart center. Again, I feel like this is talking about reconciliations and paving the way for reunions. It does feel energetically, things feel very close, and it feels like things are on the horizon. But again, we have the worth waiting for card, has what challenges us. So I feel like there's so much reason to be hopeful. I'm only saying this because I want you to pay attention to your energy. Because what happens when you build up heavy expectations is those expectations usually have to be dropped. And it's not real fun when we get shown how our expectations are, they can stand in the way of us getting this. Because what happens when we have expectations and we're like, oh my God, when's it going to happen? When is it going to come? When is this change going to happen? What am I going to do? How am I going to do this? You know, we don't want to be in this space. We want to just be in the space of love and joy, living every moment. not getting caught up in the past or the future. That's a big part of this awakening process. But the love is there. The love is getting stronger, and reconciliations are possible. I mean, more and more people are having reconciliations all the time. Even if it's just, you know, some communication, if you haven't been in communication for a while. So, again, awesome card. As I said, in general, 11/11, always a time where people wake up, and this is going to be no different. There's going to be, you know, more and more people on the planet waking up. And it does affect all our consciousness, because the more people that awaken and start to shed the fears and the ego, the more it lightens up the planet, and the more that we can keep rising. So we are all continuing to awaken in that way as well. And that always leads to our hearts. And then 3 of coins. Okay, so one of the things that is standing in the way of this is this, the Tower. And it's, again, that feeling of separation. Because she's feeling abandoned, you know? She feels like her partner's here in the Tower, and they're not coming out. And so she's feeling all alone. So I feel like, very much like I said with this awakening card, there's going to be some shifts. Whenever we're increasing our heart energy, we're going to come up against where we have barriers to love, where we have our defenses up, where are we keeping ourselves separated from love. So there could be some energy coming up in the future, triggers from that. But I feel like it's very good in the sense that I feel like this Tower is going to come down in the not too distant future. Do the romance angels have to say about what's coming up for twin flame unions? Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. Okay, so stay optimistic. Remember, we're creating our desires, and we do that from this place of balance. We don't do that from a place of fear and anxiety. So the angels are saying to continue to stay positive about your situation. Getting to know each other, I feel like it goes with this card. Because as long as we have our defenses up, we can only get to know someone so much. We can only allow ourselves to be known so much. So it's like by removing the barriers, by removing the fear of separation or the idea that you are separated in any way, you allow your defenses down and you allow yourselves to truly get to know each other on a much deeper level. So I feel like for some of you, you will be hearing from your twin, and you will experience a deepening of the connection where you allow yourselves to get to know each other a little bit more than you were able to in the past. because of the barriers that you held to love. So let's just see what the other twin has to say to you. Whoops. That wasn't good. I'm looking for a way to you. Excuse my homemade cards. Wow, I'm looking for a way to you. There's some similarities to a reading that I did last week in the pickup card. I think that was reading number 2. Some of you may remember that reading. I'm looking for a way to you. It's this. I'm looking for a way to take the steps. I'm looking for a way to create the reconciliation, but I'm still overcoming fears. And like I said at the beginning, we are all divine feminine and divine masculine, so you need to take messages from both sides. So it's not just your twin that needs to do all this healing work to come forward. We have to look within ourselves. Where are we holding ourselves back? Where are we not creating a way to them? Where are we out of balance? Where are we having fears? Where are we not aligning with divine timing? Where are we not awakened or open to our heart? As I said, the more connected you are, the more you're sharing in the energy. But that's awesome. I'm looking for a way to you. Let's draw another one. What else does that twin want to say? I'm looking for a way out of my situation. So kind of a repeat of the same card. We have to take that message there then. We have to believe that the other person is trying to get out of whatever situation they're in. My finances are not in a good place. Okay, so that's another reason why there might be fear coming up, and there might be a little bit of a fear of taking a risk. For some, you know, like I said, all the pieces of the puzzle aren't there. Well, I think that's for all of us. You know, even when I think about my own life, there's still pieces of the puzzle that I'm looking for as far as what I need to do to move forward. So I think that can apply to everyone. Number 39, let the feminine lead the way. This is the Journey of Love Oracle card by Alana Fairchild. The feminine principle in you, whether man or woman, is the way forward in your life now. She is the principle of feeling and of surrender. She feels the intelligence of the divine guiding light in a way that the masculine principle cannot at this time. You may not see where you are going, therefore, but you can feel your way forward. Trust her. Let your mind go and let your senses lead you. Becoming more exquisite and communicative. Be led by your heart. Don't worry if you don't know all the details yet or how it's going to work out. She knows the way. Let her lead. This oracle brings confirmation to you that what you have been feeling or sensing, even without any logical physical evidence, is worth following up on. Trust your senses over appearances. Trust your intuition over your intellect. You are letting feminine wisdom guide you, and she will steer you in the best direction. My coming out is the freedom to fully be who I am, and the surrender to the divine essence expressing through and around me. My coming out is the marriage of twin souls with my life partner in gratitude, in love, unfolding as more than we could ever be on our own. Wow. That is a beautiful way to end this 11/11 portal reading. Thank you so much. Sending you a lot of love. Namaste.